in the Lord. And the life, no one could ever go to the Father except through me. He accomplished his mission while still here on earth. But then, with that, my dear friends, if we fail, let's get up, move on, press on, and claim his promises. I said yes to God's calling to be in full-time Christian ministry when I was 12 years old. And all the way through high school, that was my obsession. But later on, I failed in my promise. I enrolled at the College of Agriculture, but then one time, I surrendered to his will. Right there in that old Rose Memorial Hall, when the invitation was extended to me. After 3 semesters and 1 summer, I found myself enrolled at the College of Theology. I likened still St. Paul said, as it is written, "For your sake, we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. For I am sure that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus, our Lord." That's his promise. I had a 43-year-old question to the Lord, which a few months ago was answered. I told him, "Lord, why is it that our business had been bankrupt? Why is it that my mother, who was managing the business, got sick? And why is it that at the very early age, at 37 years old, she passed away? Lord, please give me the answer." I was only 15 at the time. I'm the eldest among the 5 of us. It was only a few months ago that when, after mowering our lawn, I was brushing the Bermuda grass while it was raining, the answer came. And he said, "You know what? If your situation were not brought into crumbles, and if your mother was still alive, you are not here in the ministry. You have not accomplished your calling." At the height of our business success, my mother said, "You know what? Take up medicine. You can afford. I can afford it. Go ahead with that." I said to the Lord, "Lord, grabe ba? Sakit-sakit, sabat mo ba?" But this is it. Endure trials and sufferings. The 4th, yield to the Master's will. Cleanness and of lawlessness, leading to more lawlessness, So now present your members as slaves of righteousness for holiness. Still, he mentioned in Galatians 2:20, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. One time I was with my family, had a vacation at Subic Bay. I was driving, and towards the restricted area, I was able to sense, seeing my side mirror, that I said, it's in that intersection which you did not stop. But I told him there were no vehicles approaching, coming, and ahead of me. But he said the rule is, even if there are no vehicles, you've got to stop. You've got to yield. I said, sorry, I'm new to this place and to your traffic rules. And he said, it's okay. Dearly beloved, there are times that we are on a crossroad. There are even moments that we don't know to exactly decide on the right thing that we've got to do. And the offer and the best step that we've got to take is, in of doubt, stop. Best if we can yield to the Master's will. Take note, my friends, especially graduates, and in this kind of healing ministry, if we refer to our patients lying on their beds, ordinarily when they are busy, they are just looking horizontally. But when they are lying down, especially when they are sick and ill, they look up and pose a lot of questions. Lord, why? Lord, what? Lord, how? Lord, what am I going to do? And this Master of ours, who gave his one and only Son, is that kind enough to answer our prayers. His time. His time is never late nor advanced. It will always be in time, perfect timing. Hence, my dear friends, as we look forward towards the future, answering this call that had been posed before us and are on our shoulders, let's obey no matter what the cost may be. Again, offer your best to the Lord. Believe God's promises. Endure trials and sufferings. Yield to the Master's call. What if there will be some threats later on to your life in doing your task, helping especially those who are underprivileged? 3 weeks ago, before martial law was declared in Mindanao, we were there. We visited 7 provinces. And one time, while waiting for our car to disembark from the Roro, right in front of me is a big tarpaulin, and I saw this guy who is very familiar to you. He was there in Lanao del Norte Doctor to the Barrios, and after his term, stayed for another year. But during that stint, he was shot dead, cold-blooded. In that tarpaulin is the offer for whoever will pinpoint the culprit, a known person who shot Dre. And even until now, there is a cry for justice. It has not been solved yet. We might not be able to pass such way like him, but for sure, in the future, you will be mistreated by those around you, especially those who have their patience and are so tense and don't know what to do and have no control of their emotions. Their words are so sharp. It will hurt us a lot that we be misunderstood of our helping them. Remember this guy, all throughout his life after graduating from his medical course, went to Africa. And the record says that he was well loved by the Africans. Not only that he was a medical doctor, but he was an explorer. He was a missionary. And still, the documents show that he died in Africa. Later on, there was an order that his remains be returned back to England. But the natives in Africa did not like for his body to be buried in England. But they cannot do anything about the order. The remains must be sent back to England. You know what happened? The natives pleaded that his